Maybe you've been calling yourself lazy when that was never the truth. Maybe what you're feeling isn't laziness at all. Maybe it is exhaustion, the kind that sleep does not fix, the kind that follows you even on the days you promised yourself you would finally get everything together. You wake up with intention, you make plans in your head. Today I'll be productive. Today I'll reset. Today I'll catch up. And for a moment, you believe it. But then the day begins, and something inside you feels heavy. Simple things feel bigger than they should. Small tasks feel strangely difficult. Even things you care about feel harder to start. And then comes the guilt, the voice that says, "What is wrong with you? Why can't you just do it? Other people handle more than this." And that voice can be loud, sometimes louder than the actual problem. Because now you're not just tired, you're tired and ashamed of being tired. And that creates a different kind of weight, one that drains you even more. But I want to say something clearly. You are not lazy. Lazy people don't usually sit there feeling guilty for resting. They don't lie awake at night thinking about everything they should be doing. They don't carry the constant pressure of wanting to do better while feeling too heavy to move. That's not laziness. That's overwhelm. That's a nervous system that has been holding too much for too long. And overwhelm is deceptive because from the outside it can look like inaction, it can look like procrastination, it can look like avoidance, but internally it feels static. Too many tabs open, too many unfinished thoughts, too many things asking for energy at the same time. And eventually, your system stops asking, "What should I do first?" and starts asking, "How do I survive this?" That's a very different state because survival mode doesn't care about productivity, it cares about safety. It cares about getting through the day. And when your mind and body have been operating there for too long, motivation disappears. Not because you don't care, but because your energy is being used somewhere else. Holding stress, managing emotions, trying to stay okay while still appearing okay, that takes energy too. A lot of it. And most people could never count that. They only count visible work, tasks completed, things achieved, checklists finished. But invisible work is still work. Carrying anxiety is work. Overthinking is work. Suppressing emotions is work. Trying not to fall apart is work. And if you've been doing that quietly for a long time, of course you're tired. Of course simple things feel hard sometimes. Of course your body asks for stillness, even when your mind calls it failure. And maybe what you need isn't more discipline. Maybe what you need is honesty. Honesty about what you're actually carrying. Because you can't respond wisely to a life you keep minimizing if you keep telling yourself, "It's not that much. It shouldn't affect me this much. I should be handling this better." You stay stuck in self judgment instead of self awareness. And awareness changes things. Awareness says, "This is a lot. This has been heavy. No wonder I feel tired." That isn't weakness, that's clarity. And clarity creates compassion, not excuses. Compassion. There is a difference. Excuses help you avoid yourself. Compassion helps you understand yourself. And when you understand yourself, you make better choices. Not dramatic ones, smaller ones, like asking, "What actually matters today?" instead of trying to fix your whole life by 5 p.m., like choosing one real thing instead of carrying 10 imagined ones, like resting without turning it into evidence against yourself. Because sometimes the most productive thing you can do is stop fighting your own humanity. Stop expecting yourself to perform like a machine when you are clearly a person who feels, who carries, who gets overwhelmed. And being overwhelmed doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. So maybe today, instead of calling yourself lazy, you ask a better question. What am I carrying right now? What is actually draining me? What part of me needs support instead of criticism? Sit with that, because the answer might change everything. Not because your life becomes easier overnight, but because you stop becoming another source of pressure for yourself. And sometimes that is where healing starts. Not in motivation, in relief, in finally being honest enough to say, this is hard, and still choosing to stay kind to yourself through it. You are not behind, you are not failing, and you are not lazy. You've just been carrying a lot. Be gentle with yourself tonight. I believe in you. You don't have to carry everything alone. I'll be here.